Yeah, I'd like to register for pre-board for media members carrying camera equipment.
Media ID.
Yes. So I just drove in from filming MMA last night, and then now I'm going on a 5-day trip to Houston for corporate work. And the way I think about it is that's 5 days of free marketing. Me to market myself to new co-workers, new crew members, and then once we get back or once we all go our different directions, they can put my name in somewhere because it was a good experience to work with me. And not only is it free marketing, but I'm getting paid, right? I'm getting paid to do the job and making good connections and networking with everybody. And it just has this cyclical effect. So anytime you're on a job, think of it as if you're marketing yourself.
For 3501.
All right, event is starting. Camera's built. We're on an older C100 Mark II. I do like the Mark II because the LCD screen is a little bit more usable. And then in this kind of run and gun ENG setup, we're always going to have the shotgun mic on channel 2. And then this wireless receiver is going to go into a stick mic that the host will hold. And this will always be on, and then I will be capturing B-roll like now with no one else, and then sometimes I'll have a host and they'll be doing MOSs or just, random interviews. It's nice that they have food trucks, but the entire conference is getting lunch at the same time, so that might hurt my schedule. The key for these things to go well is to have a good producer. So I am not producing this show, I am just the videographer, and I have to be in this room to film this panel. I have to go to this area to film B-roll here. I have to do all those things, which are very easy to do, but I need a producer who can give me a schedule that can allow me time to go there, to do the thing, to go back and grab gear. That's what makes these things like make or break, fun or terrifying. All right, this is exactly what I mean. Those lines were about 45 minutes long and I only have a 30-minute lunch, so I ran across, down the road, got a meatball sub, and I'm running back. Usually on convention days, I average around 15 to 20,000 steps. This is just one passage down the hall. Eventually, I did make it to my destination. I had time to eat. Everything went good. Now I'm going to plan for that tomorrow, so I'm going to know that the entire conference gets let out for the same 8 or so food trucks. So you notice here the shutter speed is a bit low. I wanted to keep the native ISO, and when there's such minimal movement, that low shutter really doesn't make that much of a difference. So the great thing about these Sennheiser systems is I plug this into the soundboard over there to get direct sound, and then use the wireless receiver to go into the XLR. And then when we're done, we need to grab some testimonials from attendees. So I pull it out of the soundboard. I'm going to put it into the stick mic, and then the host will hold this, interview the people, and then it goes right back onto the soundboard. Watch how long it takes the C100 to turn on. Not bad, but not great. And then if I wanted to watch a clip, look at this dinosaur action. I gotta go to media, which requires to turn off and reboot. And then I say, okay, clip's good. And then we wait, and then we're back in. So a lot of wasted seconds, but for 2013 or whenever this came out, 2015, it's not bad. My host is waiting to get the interviewee, so in the meantime I'm setting up. He just gave a speech, and so we're gonna have the background be the stage for context. And then the way I like to do this for these types of interview setups, and actually for all of my interview setups, is it goes camera, eye line, lighting. So that way, if they're looking this way, they're looking across the screen, and then the light is hitting them from the far side. If I put the light here, it'd be front lighting them, and it would have no depth, no shape on their face. So this is pretty much what I use for all interview setups, whether it's high quality executive interviews or run and gun stuff like that. If they go to the other side, same thing. It goes camera, eye line, far side key light. And this is why I like bicolor lights, is because I can just match the temperature of the house lights. And specifically, this spotlight is going to be lighting this side of the interviewee's face, and so I'm using this as fill. So technically, that's my key because it's much brighter. And then this is just to wrap around the face. It does have ND filters, which can bring you outside and you don't have to change your shutter speed or your ISO or your desired aperture. So 6 stops, not bad. The FX6 has 7 and the C70 has 10. So there would be times when I had the C70 that I would go around in f1.4 on the C70 in midday, and with 10 stops of ND I could still use face tracking. It's a pretty intense setup. You have to get really creative at these conventions, so I was assigned to getting some B-roll of the logos. So I shot through here and blurred out the stanchions, did a rack focus, and then I saw that there was another one right here, so I turned the sign a little bit more so I could have the sun here, and then played with the sun peeking in. And for that I turned off all of the ND, because when you do that and you increase your f-stop, then you can get starburst. So let me show you what I mean. So you'll see here, see those rays? That's because I was at f14, something like that. If you're at f2.8, f4, it's just a big blob. And that will help the editor just have something to cut in between all of the networking and footsteps and all the other B-roll that I got. All right, workday done. This is a bit bigger of a room than normal. I'll take it. Normally I actually like one king size bed, but 2 queens will obviously do the trick. And then I travel pretty light, so I usually don't use a lot. I usually don't even use that second bed, but I do need to transfer all the footage from the MMA night the other day, combat night, and then ideally turn around some of these reels while I'm here in Texas this week. Of course, they would be wanting them, and that just means I have to come home from working the conference to edit a little bit, which, as we all know, is not my favorite thing to do, but I should be able to turn around a couple of them. And other than that, this is a pretty nice room. And then I took the conversation to my Instagram about how to establish yourself as an authority figure. Feel free to let me know what you think about it. And as always, if you are thinking about making a channel, I encourage you. I'm going to be here in Texas for a few more days and going to put out a few more vlogs. I'll see you in the next one.